I've got Kyle back for another race recap.
Hello.
It's the Big Sugar gravel race down in Bentonville, Arkansas. It was the weekend after the Little Sugar mountain bike race. What's going on, Kyle?
Doing good?
Ready to talk about the race?
Yeah.
Another one?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to talk about the race. We're going to talk about some recon we did the week leading up to the race, which half of it turned out to be not the course they raced on because of some last minute changes. Spoiler alert. And then we're going to talk about the bike setup because this was a new bike setup for Kyle for the race, and some tires and different things like that. And then a little bit of the commotion from race day and that type of stuff. So ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the course recon first. So this was supposed to be a 100-mile mountain bike race. I'm sorry. This was supposed to be, well, some of the course makes you feel like it's mountain bike, but this was supposed to be a 100-mile gravel race course.
Yep.
We drove 40 miles of the course, and then I dropped you guys off. You rode some, and then we did some the next day. Tell me about the recon of the course and what you were thinking when we first started driving some of the rugged gravel of the course.
One of the days we decided to go pretty much drive the course, and when we hit the gravel, it was some of the chunkiest gravel I've seen in my life.
Big rocks.
Way bigger than anything around here.
So what's funny to me is I think on your guys' way into town, you drove off out on some of the course, and you must have just found a very tame part of it because you sent me pictures and you were like, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
And they're wrong. But yeah, what was going through your head when you first saw that versus what you were thinking it was going to be like and what you're used to riding?
I thought it was going to be a very different race. I could totally see why everyone was riding, or majority of the people were riding mountain bike tires for the race.
Yeah, for sure. When you did the recon of the ride and wanted to ride some of it, we realized we didn't want to cut up race day tires. So I brought different tires down to Bentonville, and we'll talk about that. But we had some, whatever tires we had on there. I think we had some Strada Bianca 40s on your bike, some 45s. And yeah, 45s, not the 40s. The 40s were on the time frame. And we're like, these are old. Let's just ride them, and we can cut these up because we're going to toss them and then put new tires on. So correct me if I'm wrong. After 17 miles of recon, you had multiple cuts around Strada Biancas.
Yeah, those ones got sliced up.
Yeah. None of them cut through the casing, but you can see the rubber surface to the casing had multiple slices in it.
Yeah.
It just didn't go all the way through. So
Yep.
it's pretty wild because those are not necessarily known to be super rugged tires. But anyway, and then you rode a second day. I dropped you off at the bottom of the monster climb, right?
Yeah.
And which you guys didn't really ever get to do on race day.
Correct.
But that one was tough. I thought it was funny because Anyway, any other thoughts you want to add to that after the second day?
We basically rode the last 20 on the second day, and it was definitely a lot tamer than what we rode the first day and drove.
Got it. And then the only thing that was kind of wild was that big steep grade climb.
Yeah.
Right? It was pretty loose. Do you think you would have rode it during race day? I know you guys jumped off and walks, but race day, it's rideable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk really quick about the bike, and then we'll go into the race, because we probably would have done things differently with your bike and nutrition pack setup if we'd have known the race was going to get shortened. So take me back to Friday night. We kind of late. They were kind of giving out warnings on Instagram that the course could change and there's a storm coming in. We knew there was a storm coming in because it had been on the weather watches for 4 days. But let's talk about that. What happened? We saw the note on Instagram.
Yeah, the Big Sugar shared something on Instagram, and basically it said something that there would be a chance because of the weather that they would shorten all the 100-mile races to the 50. Or was it 50?
Yeah, it was the 50.
Yeah.
And then you guys went ahead and loaded the 50-mile course on Friday night, right?
Yep.
We were prepared for that part of it. And then, but we weren't going to know until they said they would tell us on course changes by 6:30 in the morning. And then any delays would be known by 7. But it was like after 7, right? Before we knew about the course change?
I think it was like, yeah, like right at 7.
Right around 7?
Like 5 minutes after or so.
Okay. So we had, and then what time was your race supposed to start?
I think it was 7:50.
7:50. So I had less than an hour, maybe 45 minutes until race start. Really only about 20 minutes until you were going to line up because...
I mean, we left at pretty much 7, and when we got there at like, I don't know, 7:10, like people were all lined up already.
Yeah, because the pros were starting to line up in the front, but then at the back of the gate where you could get in, the 100 milers were already starting to stack up behind there, prepping to go in. So when we got the news on the course change, you guys are basically, we're just sitting there at our Airbnb house, like waiting to go. I was going to ride down to the start with them. And we kind of all looked at each other like, bikes aren't really packed the right way for this. And I was going to meet them out at what mileage? Like 39 and then 70 something?
Yeah.
For like bottle hand up, which no longer was going to happen. And it sounds like there was a bottle hand up station out there, but maybe it was just for the pro race. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I believe it was made only for the pros.
Okay. So basically, we had literally just mixed probably $20 worth of nutrition into bottles that morning, and even actually probably extra in hydration packs. There's probably, a lot of wasted nutrition. Because to do it again, if you were doing that race, you would not have taken that much in hydration pack, or maybe you wouldn't even done a hydration pack at all.
Yeah, I probably still would have done a hydration pack.
Would you? Okay. Just a hydration pack?
Probably, yeah. Or just like had like a 1 bottle of just like plain water.
Okay. You would have stripped this stuff off.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't have done your whole hydration pack. Maybe like...
Correct.
Yeah, 2/3 of it or something. Taking this stuff off. And probably if you'd have known it was that part of the course, we also wouldn't have done 16 ounces of sealant in each tire. So after all the cuts and everything we hear about it, we look... There wasn't 16 in each tire because you just can't load that much sealant in without spilling some. So we probably had about 12 ounces of sealant in each tire. Again, that's probably overkill. Too much. Yeah. But we just wanted to plug the holes. So there's a lot of people had flats and stuff still. But for the 50-mile course, we wouldn't have done that much because the most of the rugged, really sharp stuff seemed like it was in the first 20.
Yeah.
And first 30, probably. Anyway, really quick on the bike. This is a 9er ORE. It is the new 9er gravel bike. It's a rowdier gravel bike. It's, I think it's like a 69-degree head to angle, if I'm not mistaken. Clears 50s, no problem. Clearing 50s. These are 45s, and they've got a lot of clearance on them. And we have not tried to stuff mountain bike tires in there yet, but we actually got this frame in just a couple weeks before you left and built it up. So you rode it a few times before you left, and then I rode it, checked it over, but we did a mullet transmission drive on it, right?
Yeah.
What do you got on there for chain ring?
46 tooth.
Yeah, so a 46 tooth 1x with a 10 to 52 tooth XX transmission drive on the back. These are old Force D1 generation hoods, and I actually personally like the profile. We'll talk more about the bike in another video because I want to do a review on it in the build or whatnot. But bike's really good, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Tell me quick about the bike versus really quick. Let me say the bikes that you've ridden gravel on, so that we can have a frame of reference. Kyle's had a Crockett. What else? 9er RLT.
Yep. The Aspero.
And a Cervelo Aspero 5 with a campy build on it. You've also spent quite a bit of time on the Time 80HX 45. You actually did gravel nationals on the Time 80HX 45, right? Anything else?
I don't think so.
You rode that Crockett for quite a while.
Yeah, I pretty much rode that Crockett till the RLT.
Up until the RLT, okay. And then, so perfect. Yeah, good stuff. And then have you ridden the Jameis Renegade a little bit too?
I think I also rode the Boone as well.
Oh, that's right. You rode a Boone for a whole year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a SL6 Boone. That was a really nice one. That was when the Boone couldn't fit a lot of tire though. I think we were squeezing 36s in it.
Yes.
Yeah. You probably could squeeze 38s, but even the 36s on 25mm rims were tight. And I think you actually took like third on Freedom 46. That's what you used for Freedom, right? I think you rode it out to Badlands as well for the 40-mile course.
I think I had the RLT then.
Both years out there?
Yeah.
Did you? Okay. All right. So, yeah. So, Kyle's been on a Crockett, a Boone, Niner RLT, Cervelo Aspero 5. You've only probably had a few rides on the Renegade,
Yeah.
if that.
Yeah.
Now the ORE. And then a decent amount of time on the Time ADH 45.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah. So, anyway, my first impressions of this thing is pretty good.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty good as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And
It climbs. It's very nice to climb.
so I haven't got a chance to climb on it, but it feels good out of the saddle. Much better than I thought it would for how slacked out the front is. And I feel like it's probably a pretty confidence-inspiring bike.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's kind of like a Santa Cruz Stigmata, but a little more progressive than that even, which was a pretty progressive gravel bike. Anyway, cool. Good stuff. Let's go into the race. We ride down to the start gates. You get there, people are lining up. We talked about riding around, warming up, and then you just kind of canned that idea. You guys just got in line.
Yeah, I did go up and down the road quick. Just
Did you?
before
Okay.
we went in, did some sprints.
Okay, awesome. And then jumped in line, and then you were basically sitting there for
Oh, long
35
time.
minutes or something.
Yeah.
So let's go to the start of the race. I know the neutral rollout was probably not that neutral and a bit chaotic. So take me from you guys start rolling out and take me through the race.
Yeah. So pretty much the first, basically at the start, we pretty much went straight for very short and made this sharp left. That went pretty smooth, but we got a little farther up the road and there was this left-hand turn that kind of like a little bit of road furniture on the inside.
What do you mean road furniture?
Like down in Bentonville, there's kind of these triangle like lanes that you take when you go to take a left at like a stoplight.
Okay, so not a roundabout, but just gotcha. The little curb between the right-hand turns. And
Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay.
Those kind of stuck out, so it got a little chaotic there. And then once we got through there, then there was a roundabout that pretty much got pretty chaotic because people were going right and left.
Did they have, because during the pro race, it seemed like there was traffic coming up the road, or at least maybe not coming up the road, but there was still traffic in that opposing lane. For your race, had they gotten it figured out and had that shut down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then once we got like 2 miles down through the pavement, we were bombing downhill, and then gravel came out of nowhere. We just hit gravel doing like 25, 30, right. Went from pavement to gravel.
And then really quick though,
Yeah.
because we talked about this. I don't know if we are 100% clear, but the course change, ditch to the 100, you're doing the 50. You said that. But the start of the race was completely different then, right?
Correct.
Because the 100-mile race was supposed to go out of town the other direction. And so a lot of people really prepared for heading out of town that direction until the next race was going to go up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first 30 miles of the race was new stuff for you guys that you hadn't seen. And probably for a lot of people, because not everybody goes and drives and recons the course anyway.
Yeah.
But also, it wasn't raining yet either, right?
Correct.
Got it. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So we hit that first stretch of gravel. It was downhill, and it was a little off cambered. A couple people actually went down in front of me there.
Was there a turn?
Yeah, it was an off camber turn to the
Going
right.
to the right and it
Yeah.
Okay. I saw some video of it.
Yeah, there was probably, I think, like 5 or so people that went down in front of me, which I had to come to a complete stop. And then, luckily, I didn't go down. Basically, just back up and go around. And then, pretty much from there, everyone was like split into like groups of 10 or so.
Was it frantic? I mean, everybody kind of...
Yeah.
Because we're talking, now you're a 50-mile course on gravel, and these guys are all prepared for the 100. Everybody's probably got a sprint in them, so you're averaging over 20, I'm sure, at this point, right?
Oh, yeah,
At
for
least
sure.
until it started raining.
Yeah, because I think I was doing like 23 or something like that for like first. 7 or so miles.
Okay. I think I might have even seen I've got, yeah. So I've got the splits up on the screen at mile 7.8. Your average speed was over 23 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And then there wasn't another split until mile 33. So like pretty late in the race.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
I basically kind of settled into a group of like 15 or so. And then once we started getting to some of these long straights, my legs were still pretty fatigued from the crazy fast start. I got dropped off of the back of that group, and then pretty much kind of just slowly, I just kept going until I saw that there's a big group behind me. So I just kind of slowed up and got back behind them and rode with them for a while, which that group actually ended up re-catching the group that was in front of me. So it worked out.
Got it. Sweet.
Yeah.
And then there's an aid station in there at some point.
Yeah, there was an aid station around 30.
Oh, it was not. And then when does it start downpouring?
27 miles in.
Okay.
28, something like there, yeah.
And was it? I'm just going. I think you guys said something about it. Like rain was coming down so hard and trying to turn up the aid station road, you could barely see or something.
Yeah, it was just completely downpouring and the skies were all black. And then we took a right into the aid station road, and the pros went through there a while ago. So some of the pro vehicles were coming up the road.
Their support vehicles.
Yeah, their support vehicles. Okay. It was a super fast downhill to get down to the aid station with the downpouring rain and the black skies, and then the headlights of all the vehicles. It was like impossible to see anything. So you're just like probably going way slower than
hugging the right side.
Yeah, just hugging the right side, just open.
Now, did you stop at the aid station or anything? Because you had enough stuff on you for probably 80 miles.
Oh yeah, I didn't stop.
Okay, you just ripped through.
Yeah,
and that's around mile 30.
Yeah, around there.
Okay, so at the 7.8 mile mark, Kyle was sitting at 90th and 11th out of the 19 and unders. And then at mile 33, which I guess would have been a few miles after the aid station, you were sitting in 94th overall, 10th with the 19 and unders. And now your average speed had dropped like 4 miles an hour. You were down to just over 19 miles an hour. But that's when the downpour started, right?
Yeah.
And not to mention the neutral rollout, the first couple miles was all downhill as well, right?
Yep.
So you kind of had a downhill start. And then that hill that you guys pre-rode when we did like the last 20, you entered that part of the course right after that climb, right?
Correct, yeah.
So you never actually rode that big climb. And then you're making your way back after that.
Yeah, and from there to the end was pretty much what we pre-rode that second day.
Which was pretty mild, some fun turns into some gravel, that type of thing, but not lots of chunk, right?
No.
Relative to what the 100-miler, the first half of the 100-miler was.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Okay, so what was going on? I know you got on some pavement a couple times. How was the road crossings coming back?
The road crossings, it was pretty good. Most of the time they had people there with like blocking traffic and everything.
Okay.
There was one road where they probably should have had some people at, because you're like slamming on, like you're full pulling the brakes and there's no way that you can stop. Oh, it's like very chunky rocks and it's like straight down to the stop sign.
Got into a pavement?
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. That's sketchy. Is that after the single track?
It would be before.
Just before? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then, yeah, how did things play out? Headed up into the single track and then out of that?
Heading into the single track, it was a very short single track section, but I think I was in like a group of 20, 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then single track, I don't know, I've got you at mile 42 and 45. You had actually dropped into 100th, over 100th place.
Yeah.
And then was there any working together? People scrambling, people attacking? Like what? I know there's a lot of pavement at the end.
Nothing much really. Once we got on the pavement, it was pretty much everyone was just recovering a bit. 'cause-
Recovering in pace line.
Yeah. And then it kind of all blew apart when we hit the last climb of the course. Well, second to last climb.
And is that going up to the overpass or is that going up into town?
Going up to the overpass.
And then, so there's a pretty main highway that you made a right off of onto gravel, right?
Pavement.
That was pavement as well?
Yeah.
Kind of just county pavement?
Yeah.
Got it. And then was there any more gravel from there on?
No.
It was all pavement. And then where's this climb where the attack started?
It basically started right before we went under the overpass.
Got it. So,
It was
yeah,
basically
up that.
up to that point.
Got it. Okay, cool. And then you go over the underpass, you're downhill,
Yep.
and then that takes you into the base of town, and then it's a climb back up. And you're like a couple miles to the finish from there?
You're probably 2 miles, maybe.
2 miles?
Yeah.
Yeah. And was the group still together? Were you on your own? How were things playing out from that?
I had a pretty decent climb coming up, going underneath the overpass, and I think I was probably this group basically just behind me. The group pretty much split, and there was probably like 7 or 8 people that broke away from it that were in front of me.
Off the front?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was able to hook up with a group of 3, and then like the rest of them got up ahead.
Was there, so when I know, and I'm kind of jumping to the end here, there was a big group that came through shortly after you at the finish. Was that group with you guys, or is that a group you guys broke away from earlier in the race?
That was the group that we were with at the start of that climb to the underneath the
To the overpass. That's when things blew up, and you were
Yeah.
able to get with a group out in front, but
Yeah.
but weren't quite able to hang with them at the last climb.
Yes.
Got it. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then there was like the last climb, which it was just hanging on at that point, because I basically knew that the first climb was going to be like the big decider
Okay.
of trying to get away
Yeah.
from like that big group.
Because when I saw you coming up the road, I saw you kind of preemptively start to go, and then there was a couple guys in front of you, and then I quickly saw that they pulled away from you.
Yeah, I think there might have been like one person that I caught up to
Did you? Okay.
that was kind of going slow into the finish.
Sweet. Yeah. But Kyle I could see you didn't actually stand up, right? Or did
I think I tried,
tried?
but it didn't work out.
Yeah. I can tell from the body language of the guys when they're kind of where they're at. So, but I got some video of them going through the finish. So, but do you feel pretty good about it?
Yeah.
You want to do it again?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to doing the full one, the 100.
Yeah,
It more fits my capabilities.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah. You ended up finishing, it looks like 99 or 100.
Yeah.
And average speed was just under 19 miles an hour. So 18.83 miles an hour at 2 hours and 52 minutes. But yeah, I agree. The 100-mile course suits you better with. Kyle did the dam earlier in the year, 240 miles, and you were 20th overall with that. And Kyle's just a good grinder. You were 36th at the Little Sugar the weekend before, and it was like close to 6 hours, right?
Yeah.
And, but anyways, out of this race there were 722 people that went through the first split. And so you ended up 100 out of 720 finishers. And 9th out of 17 and the 19 and under. And it looks like all the 19 and under must have finished.
Oh, sweet.
But anyway, anything else you want to say about it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, there's not much to talk about with nutrition. It was we say it was a sprint, but it was almost 3 hours still.
Yeah.
But you just sucked down your hydration pack, had a whole bunch of carbs in it, probably a bottle or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overpacked, that
Yeah.
type of thing. Yeah. So,
Yeah, the water was mainly used to spray my glasses off.
So awesome, man. Hey, thanks for following along. And it's end of season for us, right? You don't have any more plans for racing this year. There's a few things you kind of joked about doing, but you've shut her down at this point.
Yeah.
And looking forward to next year. So
Yeah.
cool, man. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thanks.